He's Mexican and she's black.
LGBTQ.
They're gay.
Wait, she's trans, there's a difference. We had a whole assembly about it.
Oh, you're right.
LGBTQIAAP. We love gymnastics. With Adex and Michaela. And Shayna and Nisha. And sometimes Oscar. We love.
And it's like 70 at night. Like, it's crazy.
Correct.
Yeah, the weather here.
Unpredictable.
Yeah, the weather here in Texas is not very much better. So, okay, so before we get started, how have the World Cups been going?
You tell me.
I mean, I've been
You're
really
the
entertained by them.
expert.
I've been very entertained by them. I'm very surprised at the artistry. Like, there's a actual like incentive to work at it, and I've loved them. Michaela, you loved the elite of it all.
I absolutely love the lead of it all. And Donatella, this is my first time meeting you. I just want to say thank you for joining us. And I just want to say, just from us as the fans of gymnastics, I just want to thank you for everything that you do. Without the judges, there would be no sport of gymnastics. To me, your job as the judges is the most important part of the sport. And it's the part of the sport that just get overlooked the most. So I just, from the fans and everybody who loves gymnastics, I just want to thank you personally for everything that you do for the sport. I understand this must be a terribly hard job, but I just thank you and we appreciate you so much.
Actually, to combine many different opinions is not easy. My job is to keep the line and the balance.
I love it. Okay, so let me show you what we've done for you. So we've done this whole spin wheel, and
Okay.
we'll let it spin. And the category it lands on is WTC. So pick in between. Let me reset it. Hold on, because otherwise it's not going to give you all the.
By the way, you have beautiful nails. If we speak about artistry.
There you go, Michaela. There you go.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Zero.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
so pick a number between 1 and 3.
Okay. Give me the 2,
Okay.
the 3. Okay, doesn't matter.
Incomplete turns. We discussed evaluating incomplete turns like the Gojian by looking at the feed. How has the rollout of these new instructions gone with the judges? And it's also in Italian in the bottom.
Okay. So what we thought a new edition of the Code of Points was that for the judges, the main difficulty is to recognize the dance elements and the complex dance elements, which mean not only the Gojian, but also the switch leap with full turn, because the gymnasts are moving so quickly that the perception of exactly the landing is very difficult.
Right.
In addition, we have this 30 degrees that in a dynamic situation also very difficult to catch exactly. So for the elements landing on 2 feet, like the Gojian or the switch leap with full turn, we decided to look to the front foot because this is a reference that the judges already know since we apply from long time for the acro elements. So they know exactly how the rule works. So we hope with this change in recognition of the element, a small change, but help the judges to be more consistent in the evaluation for all the gymnasts.
Okay. I love that. All right, here we go. Back to the wheel. And we'll spin it. Okay, these are fan code changes. So again, pick one, 1, 2, or 3.
1.
Okay. The Aminar. Upgrading the Aminar was something several fans brought up. Is it the Women's Technical Committee? Is the Women's Technical Committee continuing to reevaluate vault values to balance the apparatuses?
Yes. We are already in our notes because throughout the cycle, when we notice that something is, some rule is not working very well and there is space for improvement, we take a note. We have already a file with something to discuss for the new code. And we would like also to present these changes, modifications to the coaches roundtable now in Rotterdam World Championships, because at the end we are a team and we must work all together for the best of the discipline. So the vault is complex because if we go too high with the D score, the deductions are too low. So you cannot keep a balance throughout all apparatus, because on vault it's very easy to have 1 point deduction, 1.1. Okay, not very easy, but anyway, it's possible. In the other apparatus, beam bars, you say, oh, beautiful routines, deduction 2.4.
And so, has there been any discussion of like maybe increasing the deductions you can take on post-flight and pre-flight and whatnot?
What we are trying to do now is not to increase the deductions, but make the deduction on vault more applicable. Because we notice that all vaults approximately I have deduction in one range. Is kind of an average for one reason or for another reason. Because if the judges are not coaches, it's difficult for them to catch what is the excellence and then applying deduction, which are few deductions, with the medium level where we have to apply more deductions.
Right.
The first step we did in the first flight, making a cumulative deduction for shoulder angle or bent arms, because at the end you catch that image. This is the photo you have in your brain, because vault is so dynamic, and we thought it worked quite well. So we are experimenting more, going in this direction as well. It's not the case of vault, but probably you know or you don't know because you follow.
Yeah.
Yeah. We are also experimenting what we call real-time judging. So there is a small tool, like a joystick, that the judges are looking to the routine and just press the deduction. 1, 3, 5, 8, 1 point. In the real time, they see. So it's impossible to go back and to correct unless the last entry. So can you imagine that the difficulty? I'm 0 on this level. I'm the one 0 because I'm not a gamer. This is very similar to my grandchild.
Right,
when
right.
he plays and I lose all the time because or I look the routine or I look what I press.
Right. Right.
It needs practice, training. But this is also something we are testing, and we will test more now in Rotterdam at the World Championships to compare with the official traditional way of judging
Right.
and this new system. So let's see. This cannot work for vault, of course, because
Right.
vault is so fast. But for the other apparatus, it's possible. So in this case, you see that we need a little bit to change the idea how to apply deduction, going a little bit more in the idea of the dance elements body shape. So you see the global picture of the element and you say 1, 3, 5 or whatever. Thinking, a lot of work actually.
I love that. I mean, and it is a constant like thing that's gonna just have to be ever evolving as the sport
Yeah,
progresses.
it's new work.
Yeah.
Can I ask a
Michaela?
follow-up question to the vault question, which is, we see so many vaults that right now it seems like most people do like 1 of 5 vaults, right? So the vaults are very comparable. At least in the Yurchenko program, most girls are either doing the Yurchenko full, the Yurchenko 1.5, or the Yurchenko double. And then, some kind of half-pound vaults like a Lopez or a Polka Paeva. Those are the top 5 most popular vaults right now. So with most girls doing the same vaults, at least with vault, it seems like, from us as the fans, vault may be the easiest event to judge because you see one girl, you see the obvious pipe down, you see whatever. but when we actually see the scores, the scores are very similar across the board. Like the score, no matter what the girls are doing, the scores are very similar. As fans, how do we? Because it's different watching it on TV than it is watching it in real life. Also, right? So like one girl might be piped over, but she might be higher in the air, and we can't see that because the camera angles or whatever. So how do we get, at least with vault, because vault is just the scoring is just the hardest to understand as the fans, because like I said, we see so many of the most similar vaults and the scores are just the same. When in the air they just look so different. It look like vault should be more spread out, but it's not.
Yeah.
I understand very well.
Okay.
Because at the end, your perception is step 3, step 1, fall.
Yes.
Right.
This is the things that is clear for you.
Correct.
Then anything else is going in the middle. It's difficult to understand how we apply height, how we apply dynamics. Volt is a very technical apparatus. And as I said, if you are not a coach, it's very difficult for a judge to catch the difference between similar volts.
Right.
Also, on volt now, the judges are not applying as you fan on the sofa looking TV. This was better. This was good. Because I do the same. When I'm sitting home and I look Europeans, I do the same. Why they did so? But now the judges have a special diagram. So they need to write which deduction in the first flight, which deduction in the support, which deduction in the second flight, which makes even more complex. Because at the end, you arrive to a mathematics that maybe you don't like,
Right.
but the result.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's difficult. It becomes more and more difficult. Believe me.
Yeah, and I imagine as the sport progresses, it'll be, because my biggest question is, why isn't there a replay allowed for vault judging, like an instant replay for the judges?
Because we deleted actually the replay from the big screen, because in the past it was possible to see the vault when I was a baby judge, and we had in the main screen the replay of the vault. Now we deleted this possibility because the judges must judge what they see in real time and not start to think maybe I like this more, I like this less.
Okay, now I understand.
Okay.
All right.
There are complex things to combine all together.
Right.
And we prevent cheating how much we can.
Okay, so the next category is leadership in the WTC. Pick a
3.
number. 3. Okay. From gymnast to coach to judge and now president, what has been the most surprising challenge you didn't anticipate from the other side of the table?
As president, this side of the table, for sure, the amount of documents.
Right.
I have such amount of documents to read and then to take decision. Because as a gymnast, you take responsibility only of yourself.
Right.
But you are already worried. As coach, you have a responsibility of the team, of the gymnast. And is another thing that you are worried. As judge, you want to be correct and give the correct score to each gymnast. And you are worried. Now, as president, in addition to the worries to do the right thing, I spend my time from morning till evening sitting here in front of the computer, reading a lot of documents. So, for example, now we are going to Dakar Youth Olympic Games. They have a very limited experience in organizing such event. And every day are coming 4, 5, 6 emails only from them. Even small things like, where is in the table of medical? Should we have the label medical? Yes, of course. who recognize where is the medical?
Right. But it's
I
logistics.
would say that they are really, they want really to organize a beautiful competition. So this is why many questions coming. And I can say that in the office, Céline Cashmel, my sport manager, and also Stéphane Detratz, the MAG sport manager, are our angels.
The backbone of the entire operation. I love
Yeah.
that. Michaela, any question you want to ask regarding that?
No, we can move on to the next question.
Okay. Here we go. Let's see. Artistry and performance. Pick a number.
Okay, 2.
2. Beam fluidity. The stay on the beam philosophy often leads to coffee breaks. Do new code instructions provide better tools to evaluate fluidity without heavy punishment?
Actually, there is not really a solution that solves this problem. Because if you compare fluidity, which is 101 deduction, with the fall, which is 1 point, you prefer the coffee break than jumping on the ground.
Right.
We work a lot, and I can say that beam also improve. If you see the little Japanese, they are working exactly on the code of points.
Oh my God.
Always. Always.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
And also Kaya Nemur now is trying to have a better choreography on the floor. But of course, when the gymnast is not much confident, the preference is to stay on the beam.
Right.
Maybe
Stay on the beam.
coffee break instead of coffee break, but still, depending where you live.
Something that you said in a judge's presentation, that you have to go from A to D to C and then B in terms of choreography, and that always stuck with me, because now as the athletes are performing, I'm like, okay, is she going from A to D to B to C? Just making sure, like, they're doing the artistic portion of the routine. So yeah, I just want to tell you that. Okay.
What do you consider a pause? Because, like, to me, one of the most fluidic being routines of all time was Yang Bo, right? And even Yang Bo, before she did her acro series, she would stop, compose herself, and then go. It wasn't a long pause, but she would stop, compose herself, and then do her acro series or do her, jump or whatever. So, just as a judge, what do you consider like a pause, like a break in fluidity versus, setting up for the next skill? What's the difference?
Okay, so before, especially before the acro skill, or sometimes before the difficult dance skills, we apply deduction for pause when is 2 seconds.
Okay.
Usually we see them 21, 22. When we say 22, pause deduction. Okay.
Cut and dry. Okay, good.
Each time, easy to count. Then, the fluidity is the general picture of the routine, because what we see is not only before one element, also after the element, again, long stop, then simple, stop again, and then try something, and then turn, and then thinking. Maybe it's not 2 seconds, but at least you see that is not connected.
Right.
So choreography is not connected with the elements, with the skill. So you may apply the pause if it's too long, but generally you can apply the fluidity, which is 1/10 for variation in rhythm, which means you need to have soft movements and fast movement, because otherwise it start to become really boring. And
Right.
then there is another tense, which is the fluidity itself. So maximum 2 tenths, not so much, but 1 time throughout the routine.
Okay.
So
Perfect.
Time for you to take exam now.
right, we will. She definitely wants to.
I
So
want to.
We have also online exams, so you can stay home and
Perfect.
Perfect.
Perfect. So Donatella, can you walk us through a day of like podium training for you at Worlds? or like at a World Cup? Like, are you giving feedback? Like, what does your day look like?
Yeah. Podium training is very important. It's very important for the judges because they can see approximately how is going the routine, but it's also very important for coaches and gymnasts to understand where is the focus of the judges, because most of the countries work home, judges and coaches, like in Italy. We are consultant of the coach. We say, look, this out because it's more deduction than the value. But it's not for everybody. So we give suggestions during the podium training. Pay attention to the leg, pay attention to the front foot, pay attention to the split, pay attention to the combination.
Right.
That is really critical and you lose a lot. We give this suggestion. Then it's up to the coach to follow or not, because then we apply our rule. And we say, why you didn't listen? I told you.
Do you feel, Doctor? Do you feel like now that the ages of the gymnasts are genuinely a little bit older than it used to be? Do you feel like the gymnasts themselves listen a little bit more than they used to, or is it still so much that you have to go through the coaches and then the coaches make the decision?
We as organization refer always to the coaches. Then
Okay.
it's up to the coaches to discuss with their gymnast. It's
Okay.
not our job to go over the coaches, because this is not correct, actually.
Okay. Okay. Do you feel like when you do go to the coaches, like with a suggestion, do you think they listen more now to your suggestions than they used to in the past? Or is it like 50-50? Like sometimes they listen, sometimes they don't.
No, mostly they follow, which
Okay.
does not mean that they change the routine. But
Okay.
after the podium training, they have 1 or 2 days normal training in the training hall. So they know that they have to work more on these specific elements to solve the problem. So mostly I can say that, yes, the coach, because they want high score. So it's
Right.
in their interest to follow the suggestion.
Right.
Very.
Okay. Let's see.
Let's spin the wheel.
Logistics and formats. Pick a number.
1.
1. Oh, see. Okay. I just asked you that question. That's funny. Okay. Let's do another one.
Go to 3. I don't know.
Let's see. No, I have to spin it again.
Okay.
I didn't code it that well. Second follow-ups. Okay. 1 or 3.
3.
Fujitsu AI. You mentioned Fujitsu AI would be used for D-scores. How is that technology bridging the gap between human evaluation and machine accuracy on the floor?
Okay, this is a very interesting program. The name is JSS, Judges Support System, provided by the Fujitsu, which is not really an AI, they explain me, but
Okay.
is a computer program. So it means that we give the parameters and the computer follow the parameters. It's not generating
Okay.
something by
Okay.
because
Okay.
this is the AI. You see, I learn all the time. Yes.
No,
I
that's
love it.
very important
I
because
love it.
the way they sell it to us is like the computers are going to be given the scores and stuff because AI is different than a new computer program. If they sold it as a new computer program, it would make a lot more sense.
Yeah. So we work in collaboration with the Fujitsu company on all apparatus, and for each element, we are giving some parameters. We almost finish Volt because it's very interesting what the computer can catch, impossible for the human eye. So we need to adapt each other.
Right.
Because when we speak about 30 degrees, as I mentioned before, this JSS can catch 29 and 31. For us, is always approximately 30.
Right.
So this is the accuracy of the score, of the D score. And this is the interesting part because I can say that the judges are good, but when you start 10 o'clock in the morning and you finish 11 o'clock in the night, you can imagine to keep consistency and the same evaluation for everybody. There is one moment, sometimes even only 15 minutes break. So you need to choose or eat or go to toilet.
And it
So
is like that. It
in
is like that.
we trust JSS, this Fujitsu, because the computer, unless collapse of the electricity,
Right.
is consistent for everybody. Is the same. 30 is 30, 29 is 29.
Yeah.
This is very useful.
And I feel that because when we do stream the qualifications, like since there's no commentary, we provide commentary like for our stream. We're there for like 14, 17 hours, like all of qualifications. So like, I understand like how tired the judges must be towards the end of those sessions. Those
I
are
have a
long
question for
days.
you.
Yes, ma'am.
About it.
Yes.
Because I'm discussing now with Fujitsu what to show in the main screen in the field of play. Because we did an attempt in Jakarta explaining the D score, but with this we call a skeleton, is a puppy actually,
Right.
a doll, and a lot of information, not sure the people can understand. So what you would like to see that Fujitsu can provide in this top screen that can be useful for you to explain to the audience how is going gymnastics?
I don't know if you've seen any of the Russian competitions lately, how they do it, where they actually go ahead.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh,
I
well,
agree.
they actually have like the plan routine on the screen, right? The skills plan, right? And they put if the girl hit the skill or hit the combination or not. And then they give the value of the combination in real time. So, like, let's say she goes Maloney to Kachev. In real time, it goes D plus D, 2/10 of a point on screen in real time. I think that would be helpful. Now, I don't know how the Russians came up with this while they were
Touch
her.
Russia now.
I know, but this would be, and because it's Russia, nobody wants to touch it. But this would be such a great
Here,
program.
let me pull it up. So, see if we can like show her.
Yeah, but when you have 4 apparatus running at the same time,
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
you need to choose which one. Forget Volt, one less,
Okay.
because you can understand Volt.
See, let me,
Okay.
and you can see it. Yeah. Oh shit.
You see how, like, in that corner, they have all the skills that they are gonna do, and then they highlight whether they do it or not. Like, they put a green symbol if they made it, or they put a red symbol if they missed it, and they see that right there. They see how much the score, how much each skill is worth, and how much, and then they add it up in real time. Now, like you said, for 4 events, that's a lot.
That is a lot.
Yes.
But maybe for event finals.
And then like for the vault, they have an actual like little person that runs for the vault. Here, let me see if I can find it for you.
So maybe for apparatus finals is good because we have one apparatus at the time.
Correct. And then even with that, just explaining it in apparatus finals, it would translate over to the rest where people would know what the start values would be.
See? They have like a little like gymnast doing the skill.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, right there. Yeah.
Back, yes, an animation, let's say, kind of animation.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's. I mean, those are really the ideas we have, but also, I think just showing the skill, like maybe it's A, B, C, or whatever it may be, and then like the value of it, and then add it together, maybe.
Yeah,
But like she said, that would be a lot for 4 events, like in an all-around competition.
Okay, a little bit like the figure skating.
Yes.
When you are on TV, you see green means element okay, yellow revision, red forget.
And there is like, for example, is there any way to show like the judges freehand as they go? Because then you can have like the symbols come up.
I think that would be too much for the
I'm
average.
just saying, like,
We did in the past, but this is kind of prejudging.
oh,
Yeah.
okay, all right.
I just think like maybe in real time, or maybe just like maybe that what the Russians do is too complicated. Just in real time, if like green, like yes, she hit the skill. Yellow, it was kind of, but she didn't fall. Red, no, she fall or had a big enough error that it's going to deduct to a fall. In real time, like on the TV screen, maybe not like the individual start values. Maybe when you give the score, you give what the start value she intended to give versus the start value she actually did, and then you give the score. I don't know.
Any suggestion is very welcome.
And there's because there's a variety of ways you could go about that too.
Yeah, because the main comment is that people that are not from gymnastics don't understand how we produce the score. So we need to solve that for our visibility and popularity.
Yeah, and the rhythmic gymnastics portion of it has done a good job about that too. So I mean, that'd be one thing to draw from. Okay.
Well, I do like it that this quad, you guys didn't change the rules so hard. It's almost very similar to the last quarter points. So it's giving people a chance to catch up. I think like under the 10.0 system, it was a 10, right? So the maximum score a girl could get was a 10. So when you change the rules every 4 years, it's still a 10. Now when you change the rules every 4 years, people still are trying to catch up to like the 2020 quarter points, like, and like now it's like, but like this time it wasn't such a big change. So it's like vault. I still understand vault because it wasn't that big of a change. Like you just added the bonus system, so it was good. I like the way y'all did this quarter points.
Thank you, because we tried to keep the gymnast, let's call old, with experience in activity. Because if we make a dramatic change, a group of gymnasts is going home and the new ones are coming. And now I can tell you that since I make a lot of researches, there is a lot of discussion about 18-year seniors or below.
Oh,
yeah. So I can tell you that in my statistics, the 18 above are the 75% of the gymnasts competing. So the below 18 are only the 25. Now we are in the new cycle. So the percentage change a little bit because the juniors are coming in to seniors, but we even don't arrive to 50-50.
Damn. So is there more of a push to make senior elite 18 and above?
We are not pushing. They are doing by themselves because the code of points allow them to stay. And we need the gymnast with experience, with a name that can show up. We spoke about Russian Melnikova. It's beautiful to see her. And we need these names. And we need also to have a competitive gymnast.
Yeah. Not if only the government could play along. Okay, so Lyman time errors. You mentioned preparing a draft for visible running timers on inquiry tablets last time we talked. Have there been any final decisions on implementing those systems? Like how has the inquiry debacle, like how has that shaped how we move forward now with inquiries and things of that nature?
Okay, inquiries solve. Because now Swiss Timing provide me a tablet when even in the last routine are running the 2 minutes. So I have a green bar with the time running down. So when becomes red means the 2 minutes are over. So I have a clear signal that, inquiry rejected. Okay. This was not the case in Paris. So I can say that every mistake helps to improve if I see the positive.
Right.
Effect. About line mostly than the time. Now, actually, I work with 3 different ideas. So one is from a Japanese university that there is a kind of electrical line to put in the joint between the floor carpet
Right.
and the outside. So when the gymnast places the foot there, a red lamp appears, flash. So I know that she's out.
Out of bounds.
Okay.
Problem is 1 or 3, so 1 foot or 2 feet. This is something to solve.
Right.
Then our apparatus commissioner, Daniel Fesser, is working with another system with the laser. And also that one has some issue because the floor is not rigid. So when you arrive and the gymnast is exactly there, is slightly moving. So difficult
Right.
work in progress. And the third one is by Swiss timing, adding more cameras. So in this case, we can see clear each corner because in Jakarta, we experimented the TV screen because
Okay.
normally the TV has a better vision. The problem was because I spoke with the line judges. Okay, they are looking in the tablet, the gymnast. Then they have a doubt. Then go to the TV screen. But in that time, there are other apparatus running. So it's not
Yeah.
sure that the TV is still watching or showing the floor. Maybe they are on beton beam. And it's difficult to jump here and there. And when she wanted to catch Melnikova, she said it's the only acro line that the TV didn't show.
Wow. Wow.
Unlucky, but anyway, this is but
And
Fujitsu, before taking the decision 1 or 3, I went to JSS system because there are a lot of icons, a lot of measurements. So it was clear 1 foot out. So I checked the measure of the right foot, and from the ankle to the floor was I don't know, 5 centimeter. Then I checked the other one, the left, and was 3 centimeter different. So let's say 8. So in this case, I can prove that the heel was not touching out of the line. She was so clever to stay there on the toes and not touching out of the line. Can you imagine? This is the help of the technology.
That's
Wow.
crazy. Because it can tell you up to like centimeters, like how raised the ankle was. And, wow.
We are trying to improve, but it's not easy because as soon as you improve one thing, another one happens.
Well, that and like, you know, in theory, these things would be awesome, but in actual practice during a world championships qualifications or whatever, maybe when there's 3 other events going, it's not going to be practical.
And the pressure?
And the pressure, of course, because it could just stop working.
Or people just don't believe it because you can't do the replays. So the cameras have the angle, the camera's telling you it, but you don't have the proof to like prove what the camera is saying. So imagine a coach on the floor like, no, she was out of bounds. I saw she was out of bounds, and he's raising sand, but no, the camera's like, no, she wasn't. This is the proof, but we can't show you the proof because we don't have replay. That would be frustrating as hell. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Big shoulders.
Yeah, right. Okay.
I have a follow-up question. Question real quick to the out of bounds thing.
Okay.
As fans, we have this discussions that on floor, out of bounds should be 3 or 5, not 1 or 3, because it feels just to us that the out of bounds is they're deducted, but it's not deducted. Like before, under the 10.0 system, if you went out of bounds, you weren't winning. You were last place in that floor finals. That was your floor medal. See you later, bye. Now out of bounds, it's like she went out of bounds. Oh well, and it just doesn't feel like under the open code that 1/10 of a point for going out of bounds is a heavy enough deduction. Is there anything that you all talk about behind the scenes?
It's funny because I just recently received a comment, a proposal. Why not only 0.1? So you solve all your problem. You give points to everybody. You see how the opinions are really different sometimes.
Yes.
Because
It's
I mean,
not
on one
easy to
hand,
combine all.
yeah, on one hand, like you don't want an out of bounds to cost someone like their medal, but on the same hand, it's like, well, no, it should because if you
Without a
if
doubt.
you went out of bounds. So yeah, man, your job is hard, Donatella.
Ah, thank
I,
you, but I finish in 28. After Los
ah,
Angeles,
okay,
done.
I would be the same way. That's how I feel about streaming too. Okay, pick two or three.
3.
Okay. Beam mounts. Fans want unique skills. Is there any discussion within the WTC about perhaps doing something to incentivize difficult beam mounts over the standard ones we see repeatedly?
Okay, the beam mount already changed, I can say, because
Yeah.
now, because before we saw only the A mount, just
Yeah.
go in, go through, or this split, but now we see on the top of the beam some salto forward, we see round off flick flack on the beam, or even in connection like Kylia.
Yeah.
Or we see also round off and salto layout step out. So the mount beam already changed. I think because you start already with a high difficulty, so you already solve part of your D score. The problem is more bars, I would say, because every gymnast start with what? High bar keep or low
Yeah.
bar keep.
Yeah.
But to push for something different, we discussed this internally. Not sure is a good idea because then you need a lot of endurance. On beam, you have the coffee break, but on bars, you cannot. So
Right.
it means that you need endurance to arrive safe at the end. So you built the routine in progression, arriving to a nice dismount. So I'm not sure to have a specific rule for uneven bars mount.
Right. Because I mean, I do miss like the weird and creative mounts that were in the 80s and 90s. That I mean, they were innovative, they were fun, but I understand like having to conserve that energy for the internal portions of the routine is better suited, like better smart.
Because the construction of the routine at that time, I was a gymnast, is much different.
Yeah.
Because you had this 10, you have a 3A, 3B, 2C, and then you can add some difficulty. So you can spread the elements in the routine. But here is an open score. So you need to, to build a lot, connections, and with the bonus of the dismount, if standing, it start to go totally different, the construction of the routine.
Okay.
Good, bad, I cannot say, but it's different.
Michaela, any thoughts on that?
Do you consider the mount on uneven bars when the girls' hands first touch the bars, or when they do because a lot of because I remember when the girls used to do like difficult mounts on uneven bars, but they would flip over the low bar and catch the high bar. So still technically they're not the flip didn't count on the bars. They still flipped over the bar and caught the bar. So technically it's still they're catching it dead hang still. So I guess when does the mount count? Like when they first touch the bar, or
so the coaches at the end will find the easy way to cover any requirement that we place, making less effort for the gymnast for energy. So at the end, they will go in one direction. So like on beam, why this press to handstand and go down 2 seconds disappeared? Because it takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
And if you need to build the D score, you cannot lose time going 5 seconds and then again, and then 10 seconds only for the mount. Because then you have connection, you have many things to do. And that one disappear. And this is why they are going to salto forward or to the salto backward to have the same value or higher value, but fast, not losing much time.
I mean, the man lost how many, like 15 seconds on their routines on floor? Like, so we can't. But
Yeah.
I understand that. That does make sense that you just want to like keep get to the meats and potatoes of the routine.
Yeah.
Okay, pick a number.
3.
The Pat calendar. With
Ah.
more World Cups, Continental Championships, and Worlds than ever, how does the WTC balance the schedule with athlete pacing and health in mind?
This is a long discussion. We started with the competition innovation working group in the World Gymnastics, created by the president Watanabe, and I'm part of it. It's not easy, again, to combine the needs of World Gymnastics with the needs of the continental unions, of the federation, national federation, and of the clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Now, during the Cairo World Cup, my new athletes representative, Filipa Martis from Portugal,
We love
sent
her.
a survey, me too, a survey to the gymnasts there. And actually, what the gymnasts wrote is exactly that one. The calendar is too much congested. So we, women artistic, don't want to compete much unless it's a qualifying event or you give us a lot of money.
Do you feel like I don't know how well versed you are on NCAA, but do you feel like the addition of NIL and sponsorships opportunities in the NCAA has kind of I don't want to say come at the detriment
Bled
of
over
the
to the elite because
yeah.
so many, at least in okay, I get the question you're trying to ask. At least in America, right now, America is the dominant country in gymnastics. So it kind of feels like whatever trends the Americans set, the rest of the world follows, right? So right now in America, what's going on is a lot of the girls aren't, they don't care about the Olympics anymore. Like they want to go to college. They want to compete on the college playing field. So
Because
the college playing field is a lot easier than the elite playing field. So where the Americans used to strive for learning Arminars, now they strive for learning do your Chinko 1.5 because that's a 10 in the NCAA. And I can see across the world a lot more your Chinko 1.5 because that's what the Americans are doing. So do you feel like with the NCAA and the NIL and so many Americans want to go that route to make money, just like you said, with that is bleeding over. Like everybody's like, okay, I could just go to America and go to college so I could get some NIL money. Do you feel like that's happening with the rest of the world too?
I watch sometimes these college competitions, and
Okay.
I like that for the team building that is inside there, and how exciting the athletes are competing for their university. It's something that in a huge competition as World Championships or Olympic Games, unfortunately, in some country, there are still coaches saying, she's my gymnast, so I go with her, and not really this team building, because every medal has a weight.
Right.
Yeah.
The college is the coach that collects the group. So we now are trying to duplicate this spirit in the mixed final that will be not in Rotterdam, but okay, we did Las Vegas, and probably we will do again next year, but we will do in Chengdu in the World Championships in China.
Oh.
We are doing Youth Olympic Games in Dakar, reduced because the juniors, and we will do so we will do at the Olympic Games. And this is exactly what we want to show on TV. The team building, the group cheering for the teammate. There must create really the group. And probably on TV will be much better.
Right, because it gives because there is a bigger sense of camaraderie amongst the athletes now than there was in years past. Like the girls know each other because of social media. They cheer for each other. They all hug each other. So it does give you a sense of like, oh, these are not just competitors; they're friends.
Yes.
And so I can see that. That's cool. My question then is, why not in Rotterdam?
Oh, no, there is an answer. Any question has an answer. Let's go. So we proposed Rotterdam to do it, but they came back with a counter proposal to put all apparatus finals in one day because they cannot
Oh.
World Championships because they rented already the competition hall. So they came back to propose us. And we said, not possible because the gymnasts are doing qualification, the top gymnast, then a team final, all around final, apparatus finals in one day, and then again mixed team final. They need time to rest about the pacing and the health of the athletes. So we said, okay, sorry, we cannot go in this direction. But Chengdu is open to add one day. So at the end of the World Championships, we will add the mixed team final there.
I almost feel like it'd be better to do it before the team final because then, athletes who don't have like 4 members of their team can just like either go home. Well, no, because that wouldn't work either. Never mind. Okay. Back to the.
Is there any possibility? Because I know, there's only a certain amount of spots for the Olympic Games, but it would be so great if like the mixed team can be a separate group of gymnasts than the actual teams that they pick for their Olympic teams, because it's a separate medal. It should be a separate group. It should be more like, I guess the concept of the sport is to give as many people opportunities to win medals. So I would love it if a different group of gymnasts can, like maybe all 4 years, the men and the women can train together for this mixed team event, and it can be a real successful thing. But people gonna want to have to host the events around.
Now, the main problem here is the quota we have for Olympic Games.
Yeah.
Because the IOC gives us this 96 quota. Hopefully we'll stay. Before was 98. Now already reduced to 96. So if we stay with 96, you need the teams, the specialists of apparatus, the all-arounders coming from the continental unions. And if you need different gymnasts coming from the mixed team, you need to cut somewhere.
Yeah.
You need to stay in this 96. I would like this proposal because it was one of my idea, and then IOC stopped me.
I hate that.
I hate that too. But I'm happy that at least we have something, because when I was growing up, Donatella, we used to have like these these mixed events, but they used to have female gymnasts, a male gymnast, and a rhythmic gymnast. Now I understand it wouldn't work because the rhythmic have a different floor setup, so it'd be really hard to set up a floor for the rhythmic in the middle of it. But it's just great that we are at least trying to add events, because for so long, like I fell in love with gymnastics in the 90s. So we used to have a ton of competitions in the 90s that we just don't have anymore. Like, it's so rare and it's so restrictive, the couple that we do have. So it's just great that events are being added back. Hopefully other events will be added back.
I totally agree with you, but there are problems on that, because now LA will be in the dome of the Lakers.
Yeah.
Not a huge space because it's set up for basketball.
Yeah.
And we remove seats, which means less money, income for our needs. But anyway, it's not like Paris, a huge space. Arena.
Or the one in Japan.
The
one in Japan was gorgeous.
So we need to play with what we have. Let's see like this. And try to have the best from the situation that we have.
Okay. All right, Donatella, I don't want to take up too much more every time, but just two more questions.
Okay.
One, before you took a helm of WTC, did you ever talk to the previous presidents of the WTC and get their advice, or how's your relationship with them?
I have a good relationship with Jackie Fay and also with Nelly Kim, because it's not that everything was in the past, you just put in the rubbish, forget. You need to work with some past experience to develop and go to the best. So when I need some decision that is connected with the past, I go back to them. Jackie has a wonderful memory, incredible. I would like to be like this. I'm already
Right.
not. She's wonderful. And Nelly as well. I go back to Nelly experience because, Jackie was the one who divided at that time A and B score. Now it's D and E, because before the judges do both. So you don't know. There was a big difference among the judges. So she divided A and B. And Nelly was the one that arrived to the open score. That was her time. And I was in the committee. I remember the discussion with the President Bruno Grandi about this open score. So that was the time. And it's important to know how they arrived to this decision.
How was that, like choosing to go from the 10.0 to the open-ended
But
score?
it's been 20 years. We're celebrating 20 years of the open poll. So just what was that like? Just like the craziness of even that suggestion, because even that suggestion was blasphemy back then, because how dare you take away the 10.0 system from gymnastics? Nobody will be able to maybe it was right, because a lot of people still can't understand the open code. But it's like, what was that like? Just the impact of the sport that had. Like, what was that like, Donatella?
To kill the 10. Yeah.
Yeah, not to kill the 10. At that time, I remember, Bruno Grandi, there was a symposium in Budapest, and we all attended. All the TC attended. And the discussion was, at the time, that we have deduction 005, 1, 2, 3. That was the progression. And we had the magic 10. But the result was that at the end, all the gymnasts were around the same score. So it started to be difficult to differentiate the gymnast. So at that time, Bruno Grandi said, okay, you have different options. Open D, so open the D score, and you keep deduction higher. 1, 3, 5. At the beginning, the fall was 0.8. Then, since with 0.8, some gymnasts could even win, we moved to 1 point. But in this case, he said, if you don't, sorry, if you don't this, you can go to double deductions. So when you arrive to 1.2 deductions, automatically the system will place 2.4, which for us was not logic to have the double deductions.
Right.
So in the negotiation, we arrived to the code that we have today.
So there's a lot of compromise.
Always.
Well,
And all these things must be the same. This is also what he said.
Right.
No difference, because otherwise the social media don't understand why one is doing this and another is doing that. So,
or like forward tumbling, white's undervalued, and is on a third. All right, Donatella, I don't want to take up more of your time. Thank you so much for coming on. Is there anything you want us to know before we let you go? Like as far as this year's Worlds or like the World Cup's coming up?
Now we are in Osijek. It's the last World Cup of the series, because you know that for the current situation, geopolitical situation, we have to cancel Doha, thinking to the safety of our gymnasts. So once we finish on Sunday, we will have the winner of the series. and potentially the ones that can qualify by apparatus to the World Championships. So
Okay.
what I can say, follow gymnastics.
Follow
It's a
gymnastics.
beautiful sport with problems, yes, as everywhere. If you look
Right.
around you in this moment, there is no area where there are no problems.
Right.
But step by step, we try to solve, and any problems is an opportunity for improving.
I love that. Amen. Thank you, Donatella.
Thank you,
You
Donatella. We, as the fans, we appreciate your difficult job. We just love you so much, and we just, you have the most difficult decisions in gymnastics, and it's a hard job, but somebody has to do it.
Thank you, Donatella. Get well
Thank you
soon,
very much
please.
for supporting us, by the way.
Always, always, always.
Always,
You know me.
always.
You know us. All right. Thank you, Donatella. Have a great day and get well soon.
Bye. Ciao,
Bye,
ciao.
Bye.
Bye.
Ciao.
That was fun.
Oh
was
my
a lot of
God,
fun.
great. That was fun. Ooh, the internet acted right for my phone this whole thing. Thank the Lord. Thank the
I
Lord.
know. We did good. So, all right. Thank you so much for watching, y'all. We will be back sometime. Well, I'm going to release this on Friday, right before the Osjik World Cup starts. And then
Okay.
we should do a show because we don't have anything this weekend, right? We don't. All the Osjik.
No, I don't think so.
So just Osjik, and then that's at what time is that at? Hold on, let me check. World Gymnastics. Let me see. So Osjik is it's tomorrow and on Saturday.
Oh, and I just want to say, yeah, I may have been acting like I was very prepared for this interview. I just want to let y'all know that once again, I thought this was tomorrow. I thought this was tomorrow.
I try so hard. It just goes on deaf ears, I guess. All right,
No,
y'all.
when you say Thursday, I'm thinking Thursday. I get it. It's Thursday now, technically. Yeah,
It is. It's 4 a.m. 5 a.m. your time on Thursday. Yeah.
I know. I know.
It's like people who are like, "Oh, tomorrow." I'm like, "You mean today?" Like, no, yeah, tomorrow. I'm like, no, it's today. It's today. Like, if I say if you were to tell me like,
Oh yeah, like right now, I'm still calling Thursday tomorrow.
yeah, exactly, and I'm just like, girl, no, it's right now. Thursday's right now, all day,
No,
every day. Yeah,
Thursday doesn't begin till the sun comes up.
girl, get off my phone. All right, folks, we'll see you guys next time. Turn on
Bye.
notifications to know when we go live. Make sure you follow her at Michaela Loves Gymnastics on all the platforms, and follow me, Adex Inc. or Adex at Night or Adex 491. I'm no longer Fairy God's back, but that's for another reason. Anyway, we'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching, and thanks to
So I'm releasing this Friday too.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll send you the file so we can all upload it. We can like upload it and schedule it.
Okay.
Bye, y'all.
I mean, I have a file already.
I know you do, but
With Adex and Michaela and Shayna and Nisha and sometimes Oscar.